It's me again, Crumpet. I've been continuing my playthrough of Pentiment and I've got to the penultimate part of chapter 1. Be mindful of spoilers going forward. At this point in the story there has been an incident with our new friend Lord Baron Lorenz. My initial investigation started by heading back into town and talking to all the locals and finding any unique dialogue that could shine a light on any possible lead. Talking with the stonemason Lucky and the widow Attilia, my main concern was that the game prompted taking a while to complete a specific task. Therefore, I chose to explore more options before committing. From our conversation with Klaus, it was evident that Mother Cecilia had some information that could be useful. Although Mother Cecilia was cautious in her revelations, she did in fact reveal that a sister had been ill-treated by Baron Lorenz in the past. But not only that, there are records in the library relating to the specific sister in question. Although it was very clear Mother Cecilia was keen for us to avoid this line of inquiry. Over to the abbey itself to find Brother Florian, we began to perform the examination. This led to our first big piece of evidence ruling out the initial suspicion but also providing a vital clue, a note in a highly refined Gothic writing, the writing of which described the girl and the innocent with her. Supper time now and a sit down with Lady Salomare, who brought to light another piece of information, a letter between Baron Lorenz and Brother Ferenc, the contents of which described an occult ritual. This is especially interesting due to the occult object we have already come across near the scriptorium. Time for some snooping around the abbey. Getting into the abbey was as simple as walking through the front door and making my way into the main church, trying to avoid Brother Matthew in the process. Now, we already know there is a secret tunnel that leads into the library and have previously found the hidden passage into the crypt. Inside the library we came across a number of interesting reads, including a book that revealed the connection between the astrological and elemental symbols on Brother Ferenc's occult item. We shall certainly have to revisit these items soon. After discovering the identity of the sister who was ill-treated by Baron Lorenz, it was time to leave. Although on our exit we came across a very peculiar sight amongst two brothers. Not trying to get caught, I tried to sneak around them, but on my escape I may have been too noisy, leading to a chase through the abbey that concluded in me jumping off a ledge to escape. After a rummage around town, I stopped by stonemason Lucky's house for supper and found a broken cane at Attilia's house. Curious to be sure, but nothing conclusive as of yet. Heading back over to the abbey to speak with Mother Cecilia, we discovered a shovel with blood on the blade. A sure line of inquiry to be had. Mother Cecilia described the full detail of the incident, not pretty at all, and had gone out of her way to protect the sister and the abbey, even if it meant Lorenz was left unprosecuted for his actions. Her final plea was to leave Sister Matilda's name out of the final questioning. This was the perfect opportunity to head over to the prior's house to investigate the occult object. Whilst there we found the same note handed to us by Lady Salmia about the ritual, but better still we found a burnt note with slightly legible Gothic writing. After deciphering the occult item, it was clear something was hidden at Gerhard's grave. Inspecting Gerhard's grave did indeed reveal something was hidden here, but as to what we may have to come back another time to find out, with some help. After speaking with Otto and twisting his arm slightly, I managed to get him to help with the grave as it seemed unlikely to get help from the other brothers. Not to our surprise, but a package of dirty arcane tools were found with an engraved unknown script, alongside one other nefarious object. After what can only be described as a very thought-provoking and rather beautiful story in the shrine with Brother Sabat, which made me step back and think, wow, how insightful to think of a time when we only knew our own town borders and nothing else in the world. We reached the final judgment with the Archdeacon. Now, with the evidence I had acquired at this point, it all pointed towards Prior Ferenc. The magic ritual, torn up notes, occultist items, letters of blackmail, it all seemed plausible. Now I'm not entirely sure I got this right, especially how it played out towards the end here. I guess we shall have to see as the game progresses. I am glad I got to save Brother Piero though, even though it was bittersweet to begin the new chapter. But that about does it for chapter 1. I have thoroughly enjoyed this experience. I'm excited and intrigued as to what's going to happen next. I'm curious whether my decision was correct, and especially how much that will impact my future gameplay. I highly recommend Pentiment.